The South China Sea extends from the Strait of Malacca in the southwest to the Strait of Taiwan in the northeast. Over 500 million people in China, Taiwan, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, Singapore, Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam live within 100 miles of its coastline. The South China Sea is an area of growing concern over conflicting territorial claims, piracy, poaching, resources depletion, pollution, drug trafficking, illegal migration, and terrorism threats. For years, China, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, Brunei, Malaysia, and Thailand have been in a border debate over the South China Sea. China stakes claim to 90% of the South China Sea, and this claim is based on the U-shaped 9-dash line attached on map in the 1940s by the Chinese geographer. The line could be read as the maximalist claim to the sovereignty and control over all of the features, land, water, and seabed within the area bounded by the 9-dash line. In terms of the law of the sea, this doesn't make much sense because it appears as a confession of the concept of sovereignty and jurisdiction, and no coordinates for highlands or baseline have been provided, as is required under law. Through historical precedent, China's accession of ownership of area inside no nations, EEZs, are absolutely illegal. Discovery, naming, exploration, and resources exploitation of South China Sea islands by China were first, as was China's accession of continuous sovereignty over the highlands as a whole. It's time for China to take back the South China Sea, which was under the sovereignty for more than 2 millennia. As stated in Article 56 of the United Nations Convention on International Trade and Law of the Sea, which China is also a member, governments have exclusive right to utilize the resources of and develop artificial islands in their exclusive economic zones. As a result, any piece of the 9-dash line that falls into another country's exclusive economic zone is unlawful. All of the dashes in China's 9-dash line that are within the Philippines and Vietnam's individual EEZ are illegally claimed. Most of the China's claim to territory within no states EEZ are illegal. China's only valid claim to territory within no states EEZ is through the technical issues of the land features they've occupied. The artificial islands China has built on the Subi, Gavin, and Ferry Cross reefs are in the area beyond the EEZs of any state in South China Sea. The eve of the anticipated arbitral ruling and high-level regional summits present an opportunity for China to clarify what it means by the 9-dash line. Were China to expressly clarify that the second interpretation of 9-dash line is what it intends, it will lose nothing in terms of the long-maintained claim to territorial sovereignty.
These friendly islands are located in the so-called South China Sea and consist of a number of small islands, reefs, atolls, and rocks. These islands have been displaced with varying degrees of intensity for more than 50 years. They continue to be a point of dispute between 6 different states to this day. These friendly islands are claimed in whole or part by the People's Republic of China, PRC, the Republic of China, ROC or Taiwan, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. 3 of the claimant states, which is Vietnam, the ROC, and the PRC, base their claims on historical facts. The PRC occupies 9 reefs, however, it claims all of the Spratly Islands. The Spratly have not been terra nullius for at least 2,000 years, the PRC urged. According to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, An island is defined as a naturally formed area of land surrounded by water, which is above water at high tide. The PRC claims that all the occupied features are islands with individual EEZ. The Spratly Island in the South China Sea was a great deal of national interest. One such interest that much of the literature focused on is possible oil and gas reserve underneath the Spratlys. Other scholars focus on more structurally realized explanations such as arms builds, hubs, and power balance. Much of the scholarship on the Spratly Islands disputes explain the disputes in realist terms, but suggest two solutions of a liberal institutionalist character. Liberalism focuses on the possibility of abolishing war and conflict through trade and diplomatic ties and through intergovernmental organizations. Some scholars have focused on the role of history, perception, and emotion in the PRC's approach to the Spratly dispute. Jackie Lee takes a more consistent approach when looking at Filipino internet discourse regarding the dispute.
Since early in the South China Sea dispute, Indonesia has repeatedly asserted its position as a non-claimant state in the South China Sea dispute, and often positioned itself as an honest broker. However, parts of China's unilaterally claimed 9-dash line overlap Indonesia's exclusive economic zone near the Natuna Islands. Although China has acknowledged Indonesia's sovereignty over the Natuna Islands, the PRC has argued that the waters around the Natuna Islands are Chinese traditional fishing grounds. On 19 March 2016, Indonesian authorities tried to capture a Chinese trawler accused of illegal fishing in Indonesian waters and arrested the Chinese crew. They were prevented from towing the boat to harbor by a Chinese Coast Guard vessel, which reportedly rammed the trawler in Indonesian waters. Following the clashes on 23 June 2016, Indonesian President Joko Widodo visited the Natuna Islands on a warship to demonstrate Indonesia's authority. Indonesia's EEZ extends 370 km from its shores, which around Natuna means it is slightly intersected by China's 9-dash line, defining its widely disputed claim to most of the China Sea. 2014 to 2015, the presence of the TNI on the islands was reinforced, which the Indonesian government hoped would reduce the chance of any conflict. Then, in early 2020, a further 600 troops were deployed and 8 Navy warships from the Indonesian Navy were sent to the area with the support from the Indonesian Navy Naval Aviation.